going on, you guys? It's your boy Alex West Collects here, bringing you another figure review. And today we're taking at the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Marvel Legends Spider-Man No Way Home 3-pack. I am very excited to have this in my collection and in hand. I pre-ordered this, I want to say, about a year ago on Hasbro Pulse. I don't remember the exact time frame. They were supposed to come out in August. You know, they started shipping a little earlier. These sold out pretty quick. They did kind of put them back on pre-order. Then they sold out again. Then the date changed to shipping in June. I'm sure that excited a lot of people. They are available again on Hasbro Pulse, so if you do want these, that is the only place you're going to be able to grab them. But again, I'm very excited for this set. I'm a huge Toby Maguire fan. That was my Spider-Man growing up as a kid. So to have him in Marvel Legends form, there was no way I was missing out on this set. I know a lot of people are disappointed that we got this 3-pack. It is a premium item. It is $90. But again, the price of Marvel Legends have gone up so much, so I kind of get it. Again, it is an exclusive, so it kind of makes sense for that price point. But a lot of people were upset that we did not receive the civilian heads with these figures. And I get it. It's kind of a bummer. But personally, there was no way I was not going to have this in my collection. I'm sure they're going to probably do a re-release of these figures. I'm sure they're going to be printing money with your Toby Maguire versions and even Andrew Garfield for the movies he's done. And give us different versions, and we will probably see those interchangeable heads down the road. But for now, this is what's out and it's available. And you know what? If you guys want to see what it's all about and you're on the fence for that reason, we'll go full on in depth within this review to show you what these figures are all about. But take a look at the packaging. You will have the Marvel Legends logo here on the top. The cool image of each Spider-Man from different universes just looks really badass here. You got the Spider-Man No Way Home logo here on the front. Flipping over to the back, you'll get the image of each figure. Obviously, this is the cardboard packaging. There is no window box. So it kind of does take away a little bit from that. Imagine these with like a cool kind of like window where you can see them on in there. You can see this package actually came a little damaged if you're a mock collector. They keep packing it with that like cardboard, like, I don't know, protective wrap, and it just doesn't protect the boxes. They're so flimsy with these kind of like environmental free packaging, but it is what it is. You can see the Spider-Man No Way Home logo here, as well as each figure. You get the interchangeable hands that do come with them, so they all get a bunch of interchangeable hands. You get the wall-crawling hands, the fists, as well as the web shooters, and they each come with kind of a web to kind of hang off of for some maybe figure photography. But enough chatting, let's get all three of these Spider-Man out of the packaging and see what they're all about. So up first, we're taking a look at Tom Holland out of the packaging. So the accessories he does come with, you get a set of fisted hands here. You can see he's got the nice detailing with the blue and the red here. You also do get a set of web shooting hands, as well as this web you can kind of use. We've seen this before with the Marvel Legends series. So a little added bonus. I don't know if I'm going to be using this for any display. The figure itself comes with the wall crawling hands on there, so you can see that. But this figure does look really nice. I know we did get a similar version, but I really do like how the colors look. You got the nice red with the gold and kind of the navy blue. You got the gauntlets here on his arms. I really do like the webbing too. It's like, it is kind of molded in there. You can see the lines have been painted, which looks a lot nicer. We'll definitely do some comparison with some other Tom Holland Spider-Man figures where they don't have the lines painted in. I feel like this really does take the figure to another level. Take a look at the back. You can see the gold outlet of the spider. The more web lines here on the top. Take a look further down, more nice detailing. Got the nice gold on the back here with the webs on the boots as well. Articulation-wise, I know that was another sticking point for this set. They seem to be not limited, but definitely not as articulated as some of the current Spider-Man figures that we've gotten, especially like the cel-shaded Spidey. That one's pretty awesome as far as it comes to articulation. I mean, you do get the butterfly joint here. You do get the arm rotation. You do get the double jointed elbows. They are also pinless on the elbows and the knees, you will see. There is no drop-down hips here. The legs do go up about that much. You do get the double-jointed knees. I will say they are a little stiff, but it does feel pliable, like where you can get in some good poses. Doesn't feel like it's going to be fragile. The arms do go out. The head, let's see how much range we get on the head. Not too much. Looks down about that far. Fully rotates, of course. So nice detailing to this Spider-Man. Let's see the splits, man. If you want to get into some cool kind of like Spidey poses in the air, or just even like wall crawling, This figure looks pretty damn good, man. I do really like it. Again, we have seen similar versions, but this one with the web lines painted just looks a lot better. For your Tom Holland Spider-Man comparison, so here we have a few. On the left, I don't remember what series this is from. I think it's based off the Civil War set, based on the earlier kind of first appearance of Spider-Man in the Avengers kind of saga. On the right, we have the Walmart exclusive here. You can see that this Tom Holland does have the interchangeable head. I'm curious to see how this head looks on this figure body. And you can see this head actually does look pretty good on this figure body. I will say it is a little loose where it kind of moves, but it isn't too jiggly. It isn't going to fall off. You know, it actually sits on there pretty good. Doesn't give him like a no neck or too high of a neck. I really kind of like how this head actually looks on this body if you wanted to go with an unmasked version of Peter Parker. Up next, we have the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. So the accessories he does come with is a set of web shooting hands. Additionally, you do get a set of wall crawling hands. They are a little different, I will point out. This is more of your traditional version here, where you can see he's just crawling on the wall with the hands out open. This one is a little bit of a different gesture. You can see the hands are not as open, so I don't know if it's supposed to be like a pointing hand or what, but you will see that that is different. I do like that they didn't just straight give out the same hands for each Spider-Man. Additionally, you do get a set of fisted hands that come on the figure here. You can see the suit is very different, obviously a darker shade of red. The actual spider on here is a lot longer. It looks really nice. Even the mask itself, I really do like the whites on how the eyes are painted. The black on here does look pretty good too. It just, it just looks really authentic in my eyes as far as what I remember this Spider-Man suit to look like. Looks really good. You will see even they have molded the web shooters on there. That looks pretty good on his wrists. But looking at the suit again, the webbing is actually sculpted in there. It does feel really nice. You can see they are painted black. They do seem to line up. Doesn't look to be too sloppy on my part. Maybe on the back here a little bit. You'll notice it on the neck, unfortunately. But the red is so dark, it doesn't point that out. That is a little disappointing, but you know what? I'm not going to hold too much of a grudge there. It could be a lot worse. I do like the silhouette of the Spider-Man logo painted on the back. You get the actual webbing here too. The boots look great. A little bit of the shorter boot. I will say a lot of these are missing that articulation. For a Spider-Man figure, you kind of want those like extra pieces of articulation as far as like a boot cut. I mean, he does have the thigh cut. He does have the double jointed knees. They are pinless. You can see the arms are also pinless. He does have the butterfly joint. I feel like articulation is going to be a big sticking point. I feel like for us Spider-Man fans, even if you're just going to display him on your shelf, you want the added articulation to kind of like do whatever you want as far as the posing. You'll see there is a little paint chipping on my inner armpit over here. Some on the bicep a little bit too, but again, it could be a lot worse. But for the most part, the look of it looks pretty good. I will say that. I do like the suit. I do like the differences with the hands. Even the size, if you want to bring back the Tom Holland figure, just look at the size comparison, right? Like, he's significantly taller, as he should be in the movie. But again, the articulation, you get a little bit of a diaphragm joint here. He does kind of bend forward. The head doesn't look up too much. I think that's about it. Does look down about that much. Again, the double jointed elbows. You do get the butterfly joint. You do get the splits about pretty well. So there is some good articulation points. I feel like I would have liked the boot cut. I would have liked the toe articulation on this figure. He does have the drop down hips. So that is a plus. See, this is what I don't get. Why is the articulation just not like consistent across all these guys? Like, it's Spider-Man. He's not going to be limited in articulation. All of them really should have these kind of the same points of articulation. I don't know if it's a cost-cutting thing or what, but I do appreciate the extra articulation on this one versus the Tom Holland. And lastly, we have what personally is my favorite and what I really purchased this 3-pack for, was to have this Marvel Legends Toby Maguire Spider-Man in my collection, and I am so stoked. It looks so awesome. Let's jump into his accessories. And here's one thing I'm going to point out. So you do get another set of wall crawling hands. All of the hands have something a little different. Like, there's a different gesture. There's different sizes. You will notice these hands are smaller than the ones, obviously, with the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and even different from the Tom Holland version. So I do like that. You'll see the nice kind of silver lines painted on there. I absolutely love that. Even the web shooting hands, they are smaller. Also have the nice silver paint application. And again, you get the same exact webbing that comes with all the other Spider-Man figures. But Bringing in Toby real close here. You can see like this freaking silver lines painted on here. That looks so good. I really do personally like how this mask look. I know a lot of people were kind of commenting and saying it looked a little weird. I dig it. I really like the way it looks, man. You can see the pinless elbows as well and knees on this figure. Just looks so clean, man. I absolutely love it. I hope articulation points, you know, not as it seems to not have the drop down hips, unfortunately, to give you that added articulation. There is no boot cut. You do get the thigh cut. The legs really only go up about that much. You get the double jointed knees. I will say he is a little stiffer than the other Spider-Man figures, so may have to heat these joints. I don't really want to mess with those knee joints. Obviously you get the double jointed elbows. You do get the butterfly joint here. As far as the diaphragm joint, you get a little bit of articulation, and then also the up and down. I'd be careful. I don't know if this paint will chip with too much play with it, but look at the back, man. I absolutely love that Spider-Man. Just really brings me back. The nostalgia really hits me with this figure, man. Just, I never thought we would get, you know, Toby Maguire as a Marvel Legends figure. Just like Hugh Jackman, when they finally made him in the Marvel Legends line, that was just like such a huge win for me. That was obviously one of my favorite characters, Wolverine, and Hugh Jackman, my favorite, obviously, actor portraying him. So, you know, having Toby really is just like an unbelievable feeling. Like, it really does hit the nostalgia. If you want to see how far the head looks up, you get about that much. You go down about that much. So, again, not too much as far as your most articulated Spider-Man, but this to me looks pretty damn awesome. So I want to do a bunch of Spider-Man comparisons. I have a bunch of Spider-Man figures in my collection, but before we do that, I want to just have all three figures kind of lined up side by side. You can see the scale and the size and the comparisons. Completely different suits, different sculpts. These really are great looking figures. So starting us off, we're going to bring back those Tom Holland Spider-Man figures here to give you some comparison in size versus all three of these figures. Next up, we have the Marvel Legends 60th Anniversary Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man and one of the old school ones, the Pizza Spidey here on the right. Next up, we have the retro Ben Reilly Spider-Man figure here on the left. And on the right, we have the Black Symbiote Spider-Man. We also have on the left the Walmart exclusive cel-shaded Spider-Man based on the Spider-Man cartoon. And on the right, we have the retro Spider-Man. And lastly, we have the 2-pack Spider-Man here, which you will see is a lot bigger than all these figures. This one did have the added articulation as far as the toe articulation and the drop-down hip. So that is one of my favorite articulated Spider-Man, but I do feel like he is a tad larger than I would like a Spider-Man figure to be. And on the right, we have the Amazing Spider-Man from the 3-pack. And lastly, here's a quick shot of all of those Spider-Man figures pictured here together. Before we wrap up here with some final thoughts, if you guys are enjoying this video review, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button down below. Don't forget to turn on those notification bells to stay tuned for the newest reviews coming up on my channel here. As far as these three figures go, I'll be honest, I'm pretty happy with them. I know there was a lot of kind of criticism saying, was it worth the value? I mean, let's be honest, how much are Marvel Legends now? Aren't they like $22.99, $25? So they are getting pretty expensive for the most part. Sometimes you get a ton of accessories with some figures, sometimes you don't. I feel like these figures do feel really premium in hand. I feel like the actual design of it, especially with the webbing on all these figures, really, you know, does stand out. Even the interchangeable hands, they're all just so different for each Spider-Man. You are getting pretty much three very unique Spider-Man figures. With that being said, the cons, obviously, I agree with you. I wish we would have got the civilian heads, but I don't feel like I missed out. I don't feel like I'm being gypped by not having them included with this head. If there's one thing I will say, I do feel like I kind of wanted a little more articulation with these Spider-Man figures. We've gotten so many Spider-Mans from Hasbro, and I feel like the articulation on all of them are so different. And yeah, they're different body styles, I get it. But I feel like some things should be standard. We should have a boot cut on them. We should have the drop-down hips for more articulation. It makes for a more fun figure. That's really going to be my only complaint. I really do love these figures. I highly recommend them. I know they are, again, a little pricier, but for the most part, they're a little more than what we're paying for Marvel Legends now. Everything's getting so damn expensive. So I know you guys have to pick and choose what you get, but I say go ahead and grab this 3-pack. It is still available on Hasbro Pulse. I'm sure once this sells out, they will go through the roof on the secondary market. Just the nature of the beast, unfortunately. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video review, and I'll catch you all on the next one.